In this video, we will build a sleek, hardware-accelerated blur-to-focus typography animation, where dispersed, out-of-focus text smoothly converges into razor-sharp clarity, using nothing but pure HTML and CSS. Let's build a highly sought-after cinematic text reveal effect. Let's jump into the body tag, which is where our visible elements are going to live. First, I'm going to open up our focus staging area by typing out a div with the class focus stage. This forms our primary component bounding box. Inside this stage layout, I'll build our main headline by writing an h1 tag with the class selector focus-text. Inside the header, I am going to type the visible text string clarity. Directly below the main title, I'll add a subtitle paragraph tag with the class focus-sub. Inside, I'll write transitioning from chaos to focus. Now that our structural elements are ready, let's back up inside our style tags and add the CSS. I just add some basic style to the body. Next, let's target our stage container by typing out .focus-stage. Inside, I'll write text align center and padding 24 pixels to center our typography bounds, and close that bracket. Now, let's configure the main title typography engine by targeting .focus-text. Inside, I'll write font size 72 pixels, font weight 800, paint it bright white with color #FFFFFF, set tight default tracking with letter spacing -1 pixel, and set margin 0. Now, performance trick. I'm going to write will change filter, opacity, transform. This hints to the browser to promote this element to its GPU render layer for 0 lag frame rates. Next, we bind our keyframes by writing animation blur to focus 2.5 seconds, cubic-bezier, 0.251, 0.51, infinite alternate. This runs a smooth 2.5-second spring curve animation that seamlessly loops back and forth. Close that bracket. Now let's configure the subtitle by targeting .focus-sub. Inside, I'll set font size 16 pixels, paint it with a muted slate color #64748B, set margin top 12 pixels, and set letter spacing 0.5 pixels. We bind its staggered animation by writing animation blur to focus sub 2.5 seconds cubic-bezier, 0.251, 0.51, infinite alternate, and close that bracket. And now, here is the keyframe magic engine. We define our headline animation track using @keyframes blur to focus. At 0%, we set filter blur 20 pixels, opacity 0, expand letter spacing to letter spacing 12 pixels to disperse the characters, and scale up slightly using transform scale 1.08. At 35%, we bring down the blur to filter blur 12 pixels, and step up opacity to opacity 0.3. At 100%, we snap everything into sharp focus. Filter blur 0 pixels, opacity 1. Snap letter spacing back to letter spacing -1 pixel, and reset scale to transform scale 1. Finally, we define our staggered subtitle track using @keyframes blur to focus sub. From 0% to 20%, we keep it blurred and invisible with filter blur 10 pixels and opacity 0 to create a delayed reveal sequence. And at 100%, it smoothly clears up with filter blur 0 pixels and opacity 1, and we close our remaining curly braces. As we hit save, our code executes cleanly. The word clarity begins out of focus, heavily blurred and widely dispersed across the dark obsidian canvas. As the spring transition curve executes, the letters smoothly pull together, dropping their blur filter to snap into crystal clear typography, followed right behind by the staggered subtitle. A ultra-modern focus reveal animation powered 100% by pure CSS hardware acceleration. Thanks for watching. If you found this real-time build helpful, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. See you next time.